Practice is an essential part of mastering a skill, whether it's musical instruments, mathematics, or making out. Well, this is just as true for the MCAT, which not only assesses your science knowledge, but also your critical thinking and reasoning skills. This is why practice questions and full-length exams are such an important part of your prep. The thing is, while many students do practice MCAT-style questions, they only get a fraction of the value out of them because they are missing out on a few critical practice principles. And these are exactly what I'm going to show you today in this video. How to take an MCAT practice test or question set and squeeze every last drop of value out of it so that you get maximum value from the practice. Hi, I'm Thea Beckman, a learning coach with Brainscape, the world's smartest study app. If you haven't yet discovered our certified MCAT flashcards, go check them out today because they're engineered to help you memorize the essential science content twice as efficiently as any other study method you may be using. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel for a steady stream of really helpful tips on doing well on the MCAT and getting started on your career in medicine. So with that said, here's the first of our best tips on practicing for the MCAT. Take a full-length test at the start of your prep. Yes, the start. Now, it may seem more logical to study first and then take a couple of practice tests right before your actual MCAT test date, but leaving this crucial practice for the end of your prep is one of the worst mistakes you can make. The earlier you start practicing, the better, and it doesn't matter whether you are prepared or not. What matters is that you experience the MCAT in all its micro and macroscopic glory as early on as possible so that you know exactly what you're studying for. This will give you the necessary intel to create a more efficient and targeted study plan, and it'll help you see the content through the eyes of the examiner. And hey, if you bomb this first test, which you very well might because you haven't yet studied, you can always retake it later on and see how far you've come. Now, my next tip is to treat each practice exam like it's the real thing, which means taking the test under test-like conditions. No distractions, no crib notes, and no naps, with a timer running so that you feel the pressure of the clock ticking. Now, the reason you want to recreate exam-like conditions is so that you can experience the full physical and mental toll the 7.5-hour exam has upon your brain and body. The MCAT is a marathon, really, and you wouldn't enter a marathon without training to run one, right? Well, if you do decide to break up a full-length exam into smaller question portions, make sure you time yourself so that you can consistently work on your time management. Also, be conscious of what your body needs during the exam. Water, food, tissues, a warmer sweater, perhaps shoes that are a little more comfortable, and stuff like that. You don't want any distractions on test day, so use these practice runs to fully prepare for both the mental and the physical challenge of the MCAT. Okay, so our third tip is to spend as much time on reviewing your results as you did on taking the test. Working through your results helps you to, 1, reinforce the content knowledge and analysis skills you used correctly, thereby helping you to respond more decisively the next time you see a similar question. And 2, it helps you understand why you got certain questions wrong and how you can do better next time. This is critical stuff to learn. There is actually a direct correlation between disappointing MCAT scores and a rushed review process. So if you're not spending at least 7.5 hours reviewing a full-length practice test, you're rushing it, seriously. Only move on from one question to the next when you understand exactly what that question was asking for, what the correct answer was and why, what the incorrect answers were and why you answered the way you did. In other words, what was your correct and incorrect reasoning? Truthfully, this is all a pain in the ass. But slowly and steadily working through every MCAT question you take pays off enormously when you start seeing the patterns and begin to deeply understand how these questions work and how to answer them accurately and more decisively in the future. Now, my fourth and final tip on taking a practice test is to use Brainscape to drill yourself on your weaknesses. As you work through your practice test results, make a note of the facts you didn't know or were unsure of, and the content areas you feel need further work. Then make flashcards for that content so you can draw yourself on it until it's deeply ingrained in your memory. Better still, use Brainscape's certified MCAT flashcards to do this review work. We've distilled the entire AAMC curriculum down into a collection of 4,200 neatly organized flashcards, which you can study anywhere, anytime via the web or our mobile app. These flashcards cover every MCAT science subject with a special focus on high-yield topics such as experimental design, analytic techniques, and amino acid. But the real secret sauce behind the success of Brainscape is our adaptive learning platform, which leverages decades of cognitive science to help students study twice as efficiently as traditional study methods. Brainscape's certified MCAT flashcards are a powerful review tool to help you master the facts, so I really recommend you use them. So there are 4 important tips for taking an MCAT practice test. Take a full-length test at the start of your prep so you know what you're studying for. Treat each practice exam like it's the real thing so you understand the physical and mental challenge ahead of you. Spend as much time on reviewing your results as you do on taking the test in the first place so that you actively learn as you progress. And use Brainscape to draw yourself on your weaknesses and memorize the necessary facts twice as fast. For lots more tips on getting the most out of your MCAT practice tests, check out our full Academy guide. Link to that in the show notes below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for a steady stream of helpful MCAT advice. And finally, remember that if you're consistent, practice a little bit every day, and lean on Brainscape to address your knowledge gaps, you can and you will rise to the challenge of the MCAT.